vessels, mount up, like, share, subscribe. You know what time it is. Perps use a form of non-touch torture called brightening to further gaslight and force you into being under their control. Let's get straight to this one. Now, this is going to be something you may have noticed, something you might have ignored or not paid much attention to, and that's a really great thing. But this run right here is really not much to be concerned about. It's just one that they'll do and that they use to let you know who's in control and who's the almighty powerful one in the situation, which is a lie. But regardless of that being said, we're still going to touch base on this topic. Brighting. Brighting, brighting. Gang stalkers pull up with lighting. And they flash them on your eyesighting. Brighting, brighting. Yo, if you're still stuck around after my rendition of the grinding song, but with the topic of this video, brighting, you're a true vessel. Thanks for sticking around. Hope I didn't cringe you out. Anyway, brighting is a form of, you guessed it, gaslighting. Brighting is a form of gaslighting. And they use it against their victims, or whatever you may call it. They use it as a form of gaslighting. So what they'll do is they will use lights to try and get your attention, to try and play with your mind. But at the end of the day, who cares? They're just lights. So this isn't one to be that concerned or that aware of, but it may lead to greater things. It may lead to a better understanding. It may lead to you finding out who's doing other things, because they like to make their presence known. These individuals, they like to make their presence known. And it's just another way of that. It's another way for them to make their presence known, for them to try to usurp their dominance, all right, and try to throw their power in your face. So when they do that, don't be alarmed. Don't be at all threatened, because at the end of the day, it's just another way to try and mess with your head. And that's something that these folks seem to want to do quite often. All right? They like to try to really get into a person's mind and really try to affect a person in a negative way. But luckily, our minds are sound. All grace and glory and gratitude given to the Most High God for a sound mind, to be able to have places like this out in nature where we can come relax and listen to the chirping of the birds. Also, some of you, I know you're missing my beats in the background, and we will be getting back to that shortly. I believe I may carry a little speaker out here, just and just have it playing in the background, while the birds are chirping, while it's peaceful and we're just chilling out here, enjoying God's green earth. And it's an amazing, beautiful day. But back to brighting. Not saying we're not going to get back to having an amazing, beautiful day, because we always do that here on this channel. Even though the things we discuss may seem dark, it's all just to bring you a little closer to the light. No pun intended, since this discussion is about brighting. So what they'll do is, it's a form of gaslighting. It's a form of manipulation. And it's a way that these sickos try to get in your head and play with your mind. So you have to be strong-minded and realize that whoever's doing that is sick. They have too much time on their hands, and they truly don't know the Most High. They don't know God. They don't know peace. They don't know coming out, reconnecting with the earth and getting those Hertz frequencies from nature into your body. They don't know about coming out here and calming and relaxing your nerves and your spirit and just becoming one with your environment, especially a peaceful one like this. But what they do is they will do these things to attack you on a mental level. And some people who don't know any better, who are prone to anger, they may get a little frustrated with these things if they get distracted, or if they're in a bad mood, or if they're just tired of people playing with them. And these are all things that a person would normally be overcome by: irritation, aggravation, wanting to be left alone, not wanting to have others try to play games with your mind. It's a normal thing to want peace. It's a normal thing to want to be left alone and to leave others alone. Very normal. All right, but you'll have people who act unnormal and want to try to get a reaction out of you any way possible. So they'll resort to a lot of weird, a lot of strange, a lot of odd behaviors to do that. All right, and they have a list of things that they do to try to get underneath a person's skin, get in a person's head, get in a person's psyche. They want to be at the frontal. They want to be at the frontal regions of your frontal lobe. They want to be right here. They want to be every aspect of your thought process, and they want to be always on your mind. They want you thinking about them. They want you thinking about them. They want to be thought about you. All right, they want to be thought about by you. All right, and their behavior, it screams that, it yells that, it says, I need you to be aware of me. So they will use technology. All right, and just because it's not advanced technology doesn't mean, just because it's not some type of energy coil, gun ray, or weapon, or like some type of energy direct energy weapon, letting out all types of rays and radiation and such. Just because it's not that doesn't mean it's still not a part of the game. All right, so they'll resort to pretty much anything. They'll use anything. All right, anything that they can do to try to make someone lose their focus and just put their mind on the foolishness. All right, they have to try to get you to have your mind off of God's grace, off of a peaceful environment like this. They want you so distraught to where you won't leave the house and come out and seek a nice area like this. But we all know that we're too strong for that. All right, so let's get into what these people will do with these with the technologies that they have at their hand. All right, so this technology that they use, and for this particular case of brighting, it's not that advanced, but it's still impactful to a certain extent. They use lights. All right, they will use lights. Flashing, flashing, flashing. Lights, lights, lights. They will use lights to try and gaslight you and play with your mind, play with you. All right, you may be walking past an establishment and it's nighttime. As soon as you walk past that establishment, the lights turn on. And I'm not talking about a sensor light. If it is a sensor light, maybe that should be taken into consideration. But let me make this statement before I get into this subject. This video may not be for everyone, and this video may not be understood by everyone. So feel free to keep watching, regardless, in case you want to learn something new or have a different understanding on this topic than just making a judgment. So I ask that you leave your judgments aside and just listen. So they'll use these lights, and you might be walking past an establishment and the lights will come on as soon as you get there. The lights will either turn off as soon as you get there. These are things that may seem normal to other people. It may seem like, oh, it's just motion sensor, or that's just what it does, or that's how the system is set up. But there are instances where you have people who are doing that to signal to someone that they're being watched. And some people may be aware of that. Others may not. But someone who's in the line of fire of organized harassment, it kind of makes you think, and it kind of makes you question your reality, to where you would think that, is this being done because I'm here? Are they doing this as a response to my presence and my energy? And to some extent, the answer is yes. So not every time, of course, because we're logical thinkers over here on this side, on this channel. We know that logical thinking and critical thinking and reasoning plays a huge part in the decisions that we make. So we know just not everyone and every time and every situation is some organized harassment. But you'll have people who will listen to videos like this and chime into on our discussions, and they'll throw that out there like we don't think, like we don't use our brain, like we don't analyze, like we don't take into account that this could be just a regular thing, or maybe it could not be. All right. I guarantee you most people who are telling you to do that are probably closed-minded. Most people who are looking at you like you're not thoroughly thinking through your situation that you're the one experiencing, they're probably not open-minded. And they're definitely probably not experiencing the same things as you. So, with that being said, we definitely take into account that this may be a normal, regular occurrence. But some things are just too strange. And it's like some things are just too synchronized. And they happen on cue, a little too on cue. The on cue is on cueing. If you are on board with me and you understand where I'm coming from. The on cue is on cueing. All right, as soon as you hit the corner, boom, light turn on or something. As soon as you walk past an establishment, boom, the light turn on or the light turns off. People will do this as a way to let you know that they know that you're around or they're watching you. And this isn't the only occasion. There will be people who Like that, there's so many situations where this happens. Like, it's not even funny. And all you have to do is just calm yourself down and relax. And the key is to not overthink this. The key is, of course, it could be a situation where someone is in fact trying to get your attention. All right, but also don't look into it that deep. All right, don't look into it that deep. Just see it for what it is. It's just a flashing light. There's nothing to be afraid of, nothing to be alarmed by, nothing to be on alert about. It's just a light. So they will do this to try to play with your mind. It's just like the movie Gaslighting. It's just like that movie when they turned the gas burners on, and he could move them from a different location in the house. Or I think it was he rigged it so he could alter it from a different part of the house, or just it was set up to where it altered or flickered or turned on and off at certain times on its own. But however it was done, it was a power move aimed at that woman's mind to try and make her second guess herself and doubt her reality. All right, they want you to be over analytical and always questioning things, never just to just be at peace or thinking or just enjoying yourself. It's like they always want to try to have some kind of advantage over you mentally when it comes to this psychological warfare. All right, so I've had other situations where this happened, but it's like it's not that deep, because it's, at the end of the day, like I said, it's just a light. But the thing is, it's like the reason why they're doing it, and over time it could affect a person just by making them overthink. And if they can get you to overthink and possibly get you to start, becoming paranoid over everything, then they win, because that's the objective. The objective is to make you paranoid over every little thing, to not trust anything or anyone, to always think something or someone is out to get you, when that's not the case. I've had situations happen where you stay at places, and it's like as soon as you step on the premises, the lights come on. So you telling me that anybody that lived at a apartment or stays in a room, like they don't need light before you get there? I know somebody's laughing right now. You telling me they did not need those lights on before you got there? So it's like nobody else needed to see. Nobody else needed to know where they're going or what they're looking at. Only when you step on the scene, it's cool to turn on the lights. And mostly this happens, like I said, right on cue. And at the end of the day, it's just a light. It's just a light. Blinded by the light. I don't know the other words, 'cause I couldn't make them out. Blinded by the light. Post the words in the comments down below if you know, 'cause I don't. Blinded. That's all I know is blinded, the blinded part. Shout out to everybody who knows that Lil Wayne version. If you haven't heard it, oh my goodness. That freestyle. Just go on YouTube, do yourself a favor, type in Lil Wayne Blinded by the Light freestyle. I'm probably going to go listen to it after this. All right? But they want you to be blinded by the light. All right, so nobody else needs to see, I guess, when we show up to these rooms and these apartments, driving past certain neighbors' homes, and as soon as you drive past, they turn their light on like they've been waiting for you. It doesn't make sense, but it just goes to show you that they put a lot more time and energy into other people than themselves, and we can't control other people's behavior. We can't stop people from trying to play with our minds, but we can stop us from getting upset over it and just realize it for what it is, acknowledge it for what it is, a childish game. a childish game. And, you know, who's to say these things shouldn't be happening to us? And just on some real spill, because life has been hard for certain people throughout the years on this world. And who's to say that what we're going through isn't what we're supposed to be going through? And I know it's bad. I know it's not good. I know we don't want it, but we shouldn't allow ourselves to turn into complainers. We shouldn't allow it to turn ourselves into people who hate their life or who hate other people. All right, you want to hate somebody because they're flashing some lights? Yes, at one point I did. And I was cursing people out, and I was upset because I just didn't understand. And I just wanted to be left alone. And I guess as a result of all the other things, it's like they just will, it just piles on. And it's like after so many things happen, it's like there are certain things that just push you over the edge. And after dealing with a lot or whatever you're going through, you may not want to be played with. All right, people snap over little things sometimes, and you shouldn't fault yourself if you snapped over something small or something minor or something that you might have made a big deal out of, or you turned a molehill into a mountain. Hey, it's okay. It is okay. I'm not judging you for that. All right, God's not judging you for that, but what he would like you to do is to focus on him and know that he's got you, and your peace is still you. It's still there. You just have to find it and be mature enough to not get angry over these people's pettiness and their bullshnish. All right, so those are just some of the things that I've experienced walking past certain places. As soon as you walk past it, the light turn on, and that's pretty natural and pretty normal. But when the person in front of you just walk past it and ain't nothing happened, or, you know, you see it not happening to other folks, it's like, that's a little strange. But it is what it is. I've had jobs where this has happened, where people will use writing. And it, like I said, it's just a ploy. It's just an attempt to let you know who's in charge. They do this to let you know they have control over you. The same person could be that's flashing that light could be the same person that got in your way earlier at the store. It's something that they do to try to get in your head and to constantly have you on alert, thinking that who's after me? Somebody's doing this. Someone's doing that. When it is that deep sometimes, because there are, of course, weirdos, and there are organized groups of people that try to do these things, but we're not going to allow it to destroy us and take up too much time of our lives, because it's just it's no point in holding in resentment towards people who don't know God, who aren't going to change, who choose to behave in such a sick way. They're the ones that are missing out on life. They're the ones that aren't out here enjoying this nice, gorgeous day. They're probably thinking about you right now somewhere, worried about you and what they're going to do next. But like I said, it is what it is. I've worked at certain places where this has happened, and it's weird. Like, it's just a whole bunch of things that people will do like this. You'll walk past somebody's car and their lights will turn on. Or they'll hit the beep beep on their car, and then the lights flash. It's just a way that they let you know that they want to be in control of what happens around you. They control what happens around you. That's all the signal that the message they're trying to send, which is false. That's a false narrative. They don't control jack diddly squat. It's just the devil trying to use his minions to try to be like God and be omnipotent and omnipresent everywhere, all the time, when they can't be. They can appear to be, even if some of these people have entities in them that have interdimensionally time warped to their body through like a portal, all right, that they've opened up by choosing to be an evil person, you know. But I've had situations where you walk past a person's car, not only do they start their car as soon as you walk past it, but the lights turn on. You just like, what type of whack stuff is that? Like, some of these people, I actually in the past wanted to like throw a rock through their windshield. Some of these people I actually wanted to cause bodily and physically harm to. But it's all about them getting into your head and doing things to you that make you react, making you become them, making you become the bad person, making you become the aggressor. I don't care if it's not touching you. I don't care if it's not bothering you. Somebody doing something aimed at you enough times will cause you to either have to take a deep breath and relax, or calm yourself down some kind of way, or maybe go for a walk, or maybe yell and scream or curse. Even if you do react and you curse these people out or you yell at them, it's better than actually getting physical with them. Sometimes you might even be able to react by yourself and yell and scream or curse so much that you actually scare the person. All right, so if you're gonna react, give these people, they want to show, give it to them, but don't do it in an area where it's a whole bunch of people. All right, just be wise. That's all I'm saying. All right, it's all I'm telling you is to get your acting on. All right, get your Academy Award winning on when these people are trying to do these things. All right, because you might just scare them off and they might just leave you the heck alone, because they ain't built like that. This is a coward's game. This is a softy game. If they really had an issue with you, they walk up to you and put some hands on you. And when's the last time they done that? Never. They scared. All right, so yeah, you'll walk past people's car. As soon as you walk past their cars, it's a way to startle you. It's a way to let you know that we're on to you. All right, on to what? I don't know. On to you living your life and getting some tacos and some dip and a smoothie and taking it back to the cribbo to chill. Hey, I don't know. Maybe I don't know. Maybe that's what they're on to. They're on to you watching you live your best life, and that's okay. That's okay. You got some fans. That's why I like it. That's why I like my very important vessels over here. They know they got. We know we got some fans over here on this channel. We know we got some fans. We know these people are nuts. We know they done lost it. We know they a few pigeons short of a whole coop. We know. No one's gonna know. No. They're gonna know. They're gonna know. So it is what it is. Other situations I've had, like, people have done this to me at jobs when I did security. I always wondered why people would pull up in the parking lot, park in the area to where I could see them, and flash and have their car lights on, aimed at me, and the light in my eyes. So imagine working from 10 to 6 in the morning, and when it's still dark, people are pulling up and leaving their lights on, but they're in your face. And when you move, they get out their car, they turn their lights off, shut their car off, turn the lights off, and get out the car. So if I didn't turn my back to get your lights out of my face, you were going to stay in your car with the lights on, wasting your gas, with the lights aimed at me in my direction, in my eyes. I used to like go to work with shades on. The guy that relieved me from my security desk, he would call me Hollywood. He'd be like, yo, Hollywood. Thinking that I'm wearing shades to like be cool or to, something. But like, it is what it is. I didn't really put too much into that. I was just like, okay, boss, man. Like, okay, bro, see you later. Like, I didn't really say too much to those people. When you're getting like low-key harassed or mobbed at your job, it's like people who you can feel negative energy on, you just really don't have time for it. It's like you kind of just group them all together. Like, it's like they're all in it together kind of thing. You just get that vibe sometimes. So I pretty much I let that go, ignore that. But I would put my shades on. And it's like I just work from 10 at night. to 6 in the morning. And so it's like your sleeping schedule is already off. You're already irritable. And it wasn't a job that I wanted. I hated having to work at night, but it actually worked out for me better because I got to do a lot of stuff during the day. So I may have been a quote unquote nighttime employee, but I got a lot done during the day. And what is meant for your what's meant for bad for you will always turn out as something good for you. So they would pull up, leave their lights on in my face, and then when I would turn the chair in another direction, I'd hear a car door slam. Da da da. Let the narcs be narcs. So they slam these car doors, and when I turn my back, they slam these car doors to let me know that they just got out the car. There's no need to watch me now if I'm not looking at them. Whatever weird F-tard reason that's for, I couldn't tell you. But I know what I experienced, and I know what I'm aware of in my surroundings. So they did that to let me know that they had power and they had control, whatever little amount of power that was. But if you don't get mad or don't get upset over it, the power that they perceive to have or they think they have is easily diminished. It doesn't exist if you don't get pissed. So I would stop getting upset. I would and I knew that I was being mobbed at that job just by how people behaved. And it's all because of having a better position. Every place that I've worked at and that I've done security at, the workers that had to go inside and work in the factories that I did security out front of were jealous. A lot of them were cool, but most of them were just jealous, And when you have a position to where you can sit down and you're not inside sweating and breaking your back, and I'm not saying there's anything wrong with that, I'm not hating on anybody for working hard. You have to work hard. There's nothing wrong with a little sweat. There's nothing wrong with a little back breaking. But you need to be using your mind so that way you don't have to use your behind. The person who uses their behind gets the least pay. The person that uses their mind gets the increased pay. So I was sitting there on my phone, and because we live in a generation where everybody can't leave their phone alone for 5 minutes, I'll go to the store, and if it wasn't for gang stalking and stuff like that, I'd leave my phone behind. Sometimes I still do it. I just go. I just leave my phone, and I don't take it with me all the time. But I'll always have some on me. I always have some device on me. But sometimes, I leave my phone and it's just chilling because the radiation, because the phone's addiction and all this stuff. I just take time away from it. And I advise you do the same. Take time away from your technology. Shut stuff off when you go to sleep or when you're not using it. A little too much nature. You can never have too much nature. Anyway, it is what it is, man. They would do these things to try to ruin my day, because when they were coming to work, I was about to go home, and not everybody liked that. And people would say a lot of stupid things because it was around the time of COVID, and I had to take temperatures. There would be people who were cool, and then there were people who were fools. And people would pull up in their car, park, and have their lights on. And when I would turn around or go into the bathroom, their door would slam. They'd get out their car, and that was that. Some of them would even just, the people pulling up did this the most, to pick people up. Excuse me. People picking people up, it's like they were all in on it. They would pull up, leave the lights on, aimed in the security booth, looking at me, watching me, just sitting there chilling. And it's I don't mean to make this a racial thing, but when and it's not just a racial thing. It's when a person of color has an easy job, people get offended. It's primarily a lot of older folks, because it's they've been working all their life. How dare you young black man sit down in a chair and work? Or how dare any young person sit down in a chair and work? And I know, because my experience, that might just be me thinking it was because of my color. Might have been, might not have been. I'm open to both. But it kind of felt, I felt a little, I felt a little of the ism schism. But the thing is, it was other people who look like me who were doing the same thing. So it's like, when you have an easy job, people just hate on you. I'm not sure if it's so much of a race thing. That might add a little fuel to the fire. But people tend to hate on people who got an easy job, man. And I know there are probably other security guards out there that go through this. And they just hating on you because you got an easy job and you're sitting down and you're chilling. You got your snacks, you got your drinks, you got your food, you got your phone, you watching TV, getting paid, lemonade, sitting in the shade. And you're just having a good time. And it's like, no matter what job I worked, I always find a way to enjoy myself and find a happy, peaceful state of mind, or to enjoy myself even while I'm at work. But security guard, man, like every security guard job I had, like people just were hating and mad, and I could tell, because I was sitting down chilling, eating food, always had money, buying DoorDash and pizza and Chinese food and stuff like that, and just, really living life and working and getting paid. And the fact that I had hooked that up and I was smart enough to do that, I think that pissed a lot of people off. So a lot of these, and the reason why I mentioned that is because a lot of this is also fueled by people's jealousy. So when people are jealous of you and they feel some type of way towards you, what they'll do is they'll like do these little weird psychological antics against you. And it's because they feel played. They feel like they're not smart enough. They feel like your life is better than theirs. So what they'll do is they'll do these things to try to attack your mind, try to mess with your head, try to make you not come back. Because eventually they want you to give up. They want you to quit. They want you to go find another place to work. They had to be inside a factory, and I was chilling in a security guard booth, just maxing, relaxing, acting all cool. Even had the nerve to have some Champion slippers on. All right, anybody who's worn those slippers, they're very comfortable. And I would Uber back and forth to work, or I would catch the bus. But they would be so mad when I, like, just to see me sitting down and chilling. And I like, it's different when you see people having to like try to hide it, So it's like, anybody that felt some type of way that tried to hide it, at least they weren't taking it out on me. But those that just were full blown, just feeling some type of way about it, you could always tell. So like I said, they would use those lights, put them in my face, and they did that to let me know that they wanted power over me, over my life, over my situation. But their jealousy fueled them to that point. And that's why jealousy is a deadly sin. All right, it causes you to become a monster. When you allow yourself to be jealous of other people, you end up becoming someone that you shouldn't be. So they use their brighting, and as you can see, I'm still here. So when people are doing these things, using lights and technology and, flashing this and, car horns and turning cars on as soon as you walk past them and all this weird stuff, they're just trying to have some type of power over your life. So just continue to act like everything is normal and don't give it to them. And if you must, turn your back on them. I turned my back on these people so many times. Like I had, eventually when they pulled up, I would just lower the blinds on them. I said, you know what? I said, I'm not dealing with this. Like I lowered the blinds on them. Both security jobs. When I would have this one guy, this energy vampire, his energy was really stank and it was really bad. I'm talking about the people who will just stare at you to the point to where you want to cause them bodily injuries. One of those situations. So I just lowered the blinds on them. But I didn't keep that job very long because they want to control you and manipulate you and drain your energy and leave you feeling like shiitake mushrooms just so they could feel better about themselves. All right, so be careful of jobs that want you to take a position of a punching bag just to get paid, so that way they don't feel insecure and they can feel better about themselves. And they did that because I was in the security booth chilling, eating cereal, eating pizza, eating vegetables, enjoying my ramen noodles, having sandwiches and chips and all this little good stuff, reading books. They hated to see me do my job and also get a lot done and be on my phone and stuff like that. So it is what it is. All right. When people act strange towards you, they're going to try to get into your mind some kind of way, and it might be by brighting. So if you see people dealing with lights and see all this stuff, it is happening. It's called brighting. They do it as a form of manipulation and gaslighting to try to get you to be on alert or be paranoid and to approach them sooner or later. Hey, you're doing that with those. No, I'm not. They do things to where it's hard to detect so that you can't tell, so that if you complain, they could lift their hands up and be like, I didn't do a thing. But at the end of the day, it's just lights. And know that they still don't shine as bright as you. I'd like to thank you for watching this video. Smash the like button, smash the share button. If you've watched to the end, my friend, I'll see you in the next one. Peace.